does a woman bring to the table? I get asked this question a lot because I post often about how my boyfriend will treat me and he likes to protect and provide, and he just likes to have that masculine role in our relationship. So he pays for our dates and enjoys doing that. And I'll always get haters in my comments saying, well, you're not doing anything in return for him. Or what are you bringing to the table? I'll give these guys the benefit of the doubt that maybe they're just trying to understand the dynamics of my relationship, because maybe they want a relationship like that, but they don't understand how it benefits them. Because of course, I believe everyone should be in a relationship that upgrades their life.
Girl, get to the point of what you're trying to talk about. What is all this other superfluous nonsense?
Everyone should be in a relationship that upgrades their life. You shouldn't be with a woman who you feel like is just taking from you and doesn't contribute to your happiness. That being said, I do believe men and women typically have different ways that they feel loved and appreciated in a relationship. For example, my boyfriend is very successful and has built a life for himself and has certain visions and goals for his life.
Get to the point of what you bring to the table.
For someone to protect him and to provide for his lifestyle, because he can already afford the lifestyle that he wants. He wants someone to add to his life in an emotional way, in a feminine way, providing things still, but in an immaterial way. I saw a great video by Kitty Rose on TikTok where she talked about a man's 4 appetites. She said men are simple. Basically, they have a sexual appetite, a physical appetite, an emotional appetite, and a visual appetite. Sexual appetite is kind of self-explanatory. Emotional appetite, meaning they want somebody who cares about them genuinely and wants to know about their life, wants to know about their day, wants to know about their goals and their dreams, and it matters to them. She also said men have a physical appetite. So helping take care of his physical needs. So knowing how to pay attention to his life and seeing what you can add to it. I'm going to pretend in the context of marriage, because being married is different than relationships. But, knowing how to cook, knowing how to keep a clean space, to make a house a home, how to be nurturing, how to be resourceful, and basically how to take care of day-to-day details so that he can focus on the bigger vision for your family's future. And then the final one is visual. I feel like people get upset about this one, but men are visual creatures, and they like to see that you put effort into your physical appearance for him.
All right, so I'm going to keep it 100 because when we started asking women, what do y'all bring to the table, it really flustered them because a lot of times women never had to think in that type of way because they was always the ones that were being pursued and they was always the ones feeling like the prize. That when they start dealing with men who were the prize and we start asking them that, like, what do you bring to the table? They literally had nothing to say. So now they're trying to figure out, wait, what do I bring to the table? And they're trying to understand this, which is a good thing. But the truth of the matter is a woman can never bring to the table to the level or the value that a man can bring to the table. It's not an equal exchange. They always be like, okay, so you got the 4 needs, right? So based on her 4 needs, you got the sexual part. We could always just, pay we don't need a relationship for that. We have access to that, especially if you have a lot of money, right? Number 2 is the physical. Well, she cooks, she cleans, she does things around the house and stuff like that. You can hire a maid for that, right? Like these things can be purchased at a very reasonable price. Right? You got the emotional side, which I'm going to get into. Then you got the visual side. We see pretty women all the time. And like I said, it goes back to the pain. You can just pay somebody. So let's go to the emotional side. The emotional side, in my opinion, is probably the most valuable one because, first of all, it's hard to find. Number 2, women look at men as the protectors. They look at men as the leaders and stuff like that. So a lot of us men, we don't even feel comfortable being emotionally expressive and vulnerable with them because a lot of times what we have experienced is women start to lose their value for you and respect for you as a man once you start expressing and revealing your weaknesses to her. So that thought that she had about you as far as being a strong man starts to slowly but surely decrease. And you can tell by the way she starts to treat you in her actions. So that emotional one, when a woman say they can provide that, is that even possible? I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is, how is it possible that you can express your weaknesses to a female, because men, we have emotions too, and we really want to express them, and we really want people to confide in and stuff like that. But how is it possible? And we feel safe with our women, right? How is it possible that we can express these things like, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, all these different things that we would admit to our women would make us look like we're not a strong leader, and then they start losing that attraction. So how about you put 3 on the list? Because I don't think that women can meet men emotionally without losing respect, because us men, we're not always strong all the time. You see what I'm saying? If we are a guy and we got you, say you're a female listening to this right now, they got you because in most situations it's because of the strength that you admired. There's something about them that was very alpha or very strong or very admirable as far as being a leader, that you would want him to be your boyfriend or your husband and stuff, that made you attracted to him. It's those strength qualities that made you attractive to him, those strength qualities. So how can he feel comfortable being emotionally vulnerable with you and showing you his weaknesses when he knows that as soon as he does that, you don't see him as, or you don't view him as this strong guy anymore? It's a possibility that you don't. And that's why, in my personal opinion, I feel like the only one that's low-key, like, invaluable is that emotional one. Because when you have an emotional connection with a woman, that joint is amazing. And it feels great. Especially if, as a man, you can feel safe with your emotions. Because on some, like, protective type stuff, a lot of men, we're not scared to protect. We're not scared to stand up, you know what I'm saying, for who we love and stuff like that. But emotionally, because the world doesn't because the world does not make men feel safe as far as expressing their emotions and actually, being perceptive on their emotions, we don't even hardly acknowledge it half the time. What I'm saying is, I don't even know how to cry, bro. When I go through stuff, you think I cry? I was taught stop crying when I was younger as a kid. So I just learned over time how to not cry when I go through certain things that are scary or sad or different things like that. I learned how to deal with it a different way, to the point where I've been doing that so long. When I go through stuff, when I actually want to cry, I don't know how to. I don't know how to. So that emotional one to me is like the most valuable one. But what makes it even more valuable is finding a woman like that. The question is, do they exist? And most women be like, oh no, I'll be there for my man and this and that. So you mean to tell me that this dude that you admire so much, that's so strong to you, he's sitting here and he's expressing all the things that he's scared about and all the things he feel like he's insufficient in, and he's insecure about. You gonna still be attracted to him? I kind of find that hard to believe. So then what position does that put us men in? You see the difficulty that it puts us men, the place that it puts us men in? You see how difficult it is for us? It's really not easy, bruh. Lord Jesus, help. Also, too, the last one I would like to add in there is the spiritual aspect, right? If you're a man of God, or you actually are spiritually connected with your creator, you're going to want, one of the biggest qualities that you're going to want your woman to have is to have a spiritual connection with her. Is to have the same belief, same belief, right? If you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus and you love to worship the Lord and stuff like that, one of the biggest things that's going to be a big plus, probably the foundation of your relationship, is going to be the fact that both of y'all have the same ideologies when it comes to believing in God, and y'all can worship God. You can worship God together and love God together and listen to the same type of music that worship God and everything like that. That's a big thing as well. I don't know why she didn't say that. That actually is an aspect in some relationships. I know it's for my wife and I. We're both Christians and stuff like that, and we both believe in Jesus, and that was pretty much the main thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was talking to other females, but what set her apart, other than how pretty, how beautiful she is, how attractive she is, was her relationship with God, and she was pure. She was just a pure person. You see what I'm saying? And I loved her love, I love the love that she had for God. And so that made her stand out way more than the other females I was dealing with at the time before I decided to get in a serious relationship with her. And I said this before, but before I decided to get in a serious relationship with my wife, I was talking to 3 to 4 other females, and I mean, they were like my girlfriends. You know what I mean? And I dropped all 3 of them, and I had a 4th one that was about to become my girlfriend too. And I dropped all of them just to get in a relationship with her because she had that spiritual part. So I would say there's 5. You know, you got the sexual, you got the emotional, you got the physical, visual, and spiritual. And for me, spiritual was number 1. And for her, spiritual was number 1 as well. And that's why we was able to, you know, have a successful relationship together. And we still do to this day and continuing forward.